Welcome back to the Alpha Omega Biz Dev Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. John Lee with Alpha Omega Consulting, and this is the podcast where we teach small business owners business strategies and tips to grow your business, and specifically, I cater to chiropractors who own their own business, being a chiropractor in business myself. So today's topic, we're going to tackle the topic of workstation ergonomics. Now, should every chiropractor talk about workstation ergonomics with their patients? And I'll answer that right away. No suspense here. And the answer is yes. And if you're a chiropractor, you probably would say the same thing and answer the same. And I pull a lot of this from my years of being in practice. And being in an area, I practice in a city called Irvine, California, which is Orange County, Southern California. And we are in an area where our patient base is, predominantly reliant on computers, either with their day jobs, whether it's working at an office or nowadays a lot of remote working. A lot of computer use is really a day-to-day kind of reality for our patients. And we're also finding that even students, even college students, high school kids, even junior high and elementary, the amount of usage of computers, especially with laptops, and I know a lot of public schools give out Google Chromebooks, as they do with my kids in their school. The usage of electronics is happening at a far younger age than I know I ever went through. I know going through elementary school, junior high, high school, it probably wasn't until really late junior high, early high school where we had maybe a keyboard in class, but I really didn't use a computer at home. And so anyways, nowadays, in our society, the usage of computers is happening at a much younger age. So what problem is that creating? What issue is that creating in our society, really worldwide? Okay, or at least countries who heavily use computers? It's poor posture, right? It is forward head posture. It's that nasty forward head posture that causes that hunch appearance. I was thinking of this. I'm from Korea. I'm South Korean, and in Korean they have a term for it called turtleneck. Right? Turtleneck is like a turtle putting their head out of a turtle shell. There's also terms like tech neck, okay, technology neck, text neck, text messaging neck, smartphone spine, right? Lots of different terms to really talk about the same issue, which is horrible human, upper neck and back posture from, leaning into electronics all the time, from, again, mobile phones, laptops, tablets, even just computer monitors, laptops that are sitting too low, okay? So it really is just a huge problem in today's society, and again, hitting the younger and younger ages. I even have kids that are, 7, 8 years old. They've been on gadgets and iPads so much since they were maybe 2 or 3 years old. They're developing problems in their neck and back and tension, all kinds of issues. So as chiropractors, it's almost our civic duty to really talk about this with our patients. Yes, we are good at fixing problems when they develop, but I think we can be even more impactful with patients to teach them how to prevent problems early on, being proactive. Just like the dental community has done such an amazing job of teaching worldwide in humanity the importance of regular brushing, flossing, dental checkups to prevent dental problems, I think we need to do an even better job as chiropractors to really talk about ergonomics and the usage of electronics. Okay, so that really is the first thing I want to tackle is the fact that there's such a problem with poor posture and tech neck and text neck that we need to do something about this as chiropractors, right? Even if we are to address this, and I know I've had debates with some chiropractors that they'll joke, well, hey, if they develop these problems, this will keep us busy. It'll keep all chiropractors busy, and it'll keep the new patients coming to us. So we should kind of leave them in the dark, right? That is not okay. We should not have that approach. That's like saying a dentist would tell the public, not about dental hygiene, because they want to have more patients in the future. Even if we were to do a mass education for people and how to have proper ergonomics and posture, we would still have plenty of patients as chiropractors. Okay. Now, ergonomics, what I found is that with some of the chiropractors that I've talked to, they actually don't know where to begin, right? They may not be practicing proper ergonomics with themselves and their family when it comes to electronics. Okay, so right now, as I am recording this, I'm at my stand-up desk. Okay, so I've got a motorized stand-up desk, and I really try to practice what I preach. And it's also at a necessity. From having used computers a long time myself, and most of it sitting down, the first part of my life, or probably the first 3/4 of my life, I started to develop problems, and I noticed the problems would always be evident. I'd feel more aches and pains, and numbness and tingling in my arm when I'd be sitting at the computer like that. So I got a stand-up desk years ago, and standing now 80-90% of the time, and rarely sitting, really has helped me with my own physical condition. So first off, it really starts with you, doctor, if you're listening to this, that are you actually practicing good ergonomics? Because you can't really tell a patient what to do with their workstation if you don't actually practice that yourself. So it's a lot like, when you ask your patients to stretch and do their home exercises, their core strengthening, their posture exercises. Are you doing them? Right? I know I stress that with my chiropractic assistants in my office. I really urge them, hey, first of all, you need to get your adjustments, right? So you need to be under my care with regular chiropractic adjustments, so we keep your spine in tip-top shape. But also, hey CA in my office, are you doing your stretches? Are you doing exercises? Are you doing your posture exercising tools at home that we've taught you? Because it starts with you. How can you, on a day-to-day basis with patients, ask them if they're doing their required homework if you're not doing it yourself? Okay, so again, you doctor, are you practicing proper ergonomics, and do you even understand proper ergonomics? If someone were to ask you, hey doctor, what's the right chair? Do you have an answer for that? Okay, that I need to address, that if you are not practicing proper workstation ergonomics yourself, or do not understand the basics and fundamentals, and honestly, we should understand more than just the basics. We should actually understand some advanced concepts when it comes to ergonomics, this is not the podcast for that. That is something that you have to invest some time and effort into later to really understanding. But I'll leave you one tip. Chairs. If your patients have a chair and all they have is a lever for up and down, that is not an ergonomic chair, right? Most chairs, from my opinion, that are fully ergonomic and adjustable have 3 levers on the side. So we tell all our patients this. We make specific recommendations to certain chairs, and I'll leave you with 2. The Herman Miller Aeron chair, and no, this is not a sponsored podcast, but the Herman Miller Aeron chair has been kind of really like a standard in the industry for ergonomics for a long time. But I have one sitting on the floor right next to me right now. For when I do sit, I sit in that chair, and it has 3 levers on the side and is fully adjustable. But most patients can't afford or don't want to spend that kind of money on a chair, on a high-end chair. So there is a Staples.com. Staples has pretty much a knockoff version of that, and it's called the Staples Carder Mesh, CARDER-MESH. And this has 3 levers on the side, fully adjustable, just about as good as the Herman Miller chair, and at a fraction of the cost, typically under $200. So I tell a lot of patients about those 2 chairs, and then they can really decide which one is a better fit for them, and also cost-wise, which one's better. Okay. Now, to really take the education of workstation ergonomics a step further, because it is hard to have these conversations during busy patient treating times. So you want to get systematic with this. You want to systematize this. And, if you're a client of mine watching this, or you're someone who knows one of our coaching clients, you'll know that Alpha Mega Consulting, we have systems for just about everything. And that's what allows a business to be more efficient and grow more sustainably in a healthier fashion. But we have a system for workstation ergonomics in my practice, lead chiropractor in Irvine. And again, I'm not going to go into the exact details of all that because that's for another type of training, and that training is in our coaching program. But you want to have a system where you're asking patients to actually show you themselves at their workstation. Okay, so it's so easy. You ask them to use, what else? How ironic, but their own mobile phone, right? The mobile phone that creates more bad posture. Ask them to take some pictures of their workstation, have someone take pictures of them on their workstation, and then provide it to you somehow. Okay, and I guess I am getting into some of the system components to this of systematizing it, but you want to be able to see photos of them actually at the workstation. You want to diagnose that, do a quick assessment, and this honestly, it just takes minutes per patient. It's not like it takes a whole lot of time. Then you want to create some type of reporting system, and we do it just with a Word document. My staff creates it. I diagnose it. I figure out what I want to say. I have it all in template statements. My staff puts it all together in a report. Then during their next adjustment visit, I spend maybe 1, 2, 3 minutes going over the report, hand them the report. They can read it thoroughly later at home, and then they start to apply the changes. What I found is that the patients who do this exercise, and honestly, there's a compliance percentage of about 50%. Even though we offer this to every single patient during their corrective care experience with us, only half of them actually take us up on this offer to do it, and we do it for free. It's another just additional thing that we add to our whole treatment process to add a lot of value to their service and their experience and to really benefit them. And the 50% who do follow through with this exercise and this homework with us, they're the ones that get even better results and, sustain their improvements in the future. And they're also the ones that tend to come back and give us all kinds of great feedback and just thanks and praise. Hey, doc, that workstation recommendation you made was so key, was so important for me to just keep feeling better, because it was the computer station that would always bring it back for me. And now that you've not only helped me with my spinal problems through the chiropractic treatments and the therapies in your office, but now you've also empowered me and educated me with tools on how I can keep my spine healthier and not get back into and relapse into problems by having proper posture with a good workstation. I can't thank you enough. You've probably saved me so much problems and pain, and I'd probably have to even come to you even more often for longer if I had never known about the workstation ergonomic changes I need to make. And what I've experienced is that, again, most chiropractors don't go above and beyond with this topic. And I think it's necessary for us to do this as chiropractors, and it's not that hard, really. It's pretty easy with just a few, steps in systematizing this and providing this to patients on a regular basis. And again, even the half of the patients that comply and take you up on this just awesome offer that you give them to educate them on this will just be so thankful that you're doing this and you're really benefiting them for the future and helping to keep their spine healthy for a long, long time, beyond just giving them adjustments and the care that you provide in office, but you're giving them at-home tools that they can apply for the rest of their lives, and also even share with their loved ones, with their children. As their children grow, they'll know how to address and shape the workstation for their children. So just really, kind of an underutilized area of chiropractic treatment when it comes to chiropractors. We don't really talk about ergonomics as much, and we don't get into detail as much. And we really should, because your patients need it, our society needs it, and your patients will be so thankful and grateful that you're doing this for them. All right. Okay, so that's going to wrap up this episode. I hope it really kind of spurs you and inspires and motivates you to really implement some type of workstation ergonomic component to your patient care. And even if your patients are just on maintenance care with you, it doesn't matter. You can offer this to them as well. All right. And there's other ways you can deliver this. It doesn't have to be with pictures and a Word document report. There's different forms and media you can use, and that's where you can get creative with this. But the point is, you need to and should be delivering this type of education and training to all your patients, and at least offer it to them, and then see who actually takes you up on it or receives it and applies it to their everyday life. Okay, so workstation ergonomics, we should all be doing as chiropractors. And honestly, bigger picture, we're helping our community and our society as a whole by all really collectively deciding to address this topic. Okay. Dr. John Lee with Alpha Mega Consulting. This has been another episode of the Alpha Mega Biz Dev podcast. Tune in again for the next episode, and I'll see you there.